is the schedule for the end of it. So obviously, today we'll do classroom. There's no class on Monday. Wednesday we'll also do classroom. So basically I'm trying to, and then we'll do Zoom on Friday, then one classroom and then Zoom. But I'm trying to use the classroom ones for things that are going to be new still, I guess. Except today I'm sort of just trying to answer questions, hopefully, see if that works. But like this, the survey data thing. So I've just shifted the date for that to give people more time in general until Wednesday. So that then by Wednesday, whatever you have, and then in class, we'll talk about how to use it and deal with it. And like how to put it into the essay, like where and so on. So hopefully that will help, who knows. Zoom. And then Monday, the following Monday, I'll do, try to help people put a feedback rubric together for this essay. That's the hope. And I'm trying to record stuff, but let's see if that also works out or not. Here's the new thing for today. I might as well just do that first. I wanted to explain this process of, you need to know like what your research question is and what your thesis statement is, right? In order to do the second introduction is all about that. And so one of the things is there is a process to help you do that because it might have changed. So this is the way to figure out where you're at like now, meaning if you have those topic sentences, which most people do, you are going to use them to figure out what the research question is and also figure out what the thesis is. Because whatever the research question was or whatever your thesis was, may have changed once you did your topic sentences. So the idea is you put in the topic sentences into ChatGPT and you ask, what question are these sentences trying to answer? Right? And it will give you a question and you can then look at it and decide, all right, is that what I'm answering? Like, does that go along with what I'm thinking? Like, this is supposed to be about this essay part. And then you can work on it. You can have it, change. You can tell it to change the question to focus more on whatever. You can also ask it to change the topic sentences if you needed to do that. So that's sort of the first move. You're using the topic sentences to figure out sort of what the question is. Also, by now, you're knowing more, hopefully, so that you can look at the question and know that, yeah, either I'm doing that or not. Then you take the question, you take your topic sentences, you put all of that in, and you say, can you create a thesis statement that answers this question and that addresses or sets up or signals that I'm going to talk about those 4 topic sentences? Again, it will give you one, and again, you will look at it and you're evaluating it, deciding whether that makes any sense to you or not, and working on it till it does. Then you have all of that. And that's, like I said, well, that goes, that's a big part of what the second introduction is about. It's about your subject and what you're saying and all that stuff. But those are both necessary parts for that. So that's the first sort of thing I was trying to answer people's questions about that. So you're going to do that part. And then, so for today's notes and also the red button thing, I don't know, it's hard to make things, whatever. So if you go to click on the red button, it's trying to be a very clear guide for each of the sections, that's all. And I'm trying to answer some of the questions that people have asked me, right? And this is a pretty good, like, so the abstract, like what's the difference between the abstract and the introduction, right? This is a great analogy. The idea is the abstract's like the trailer for a movie that's done, and you put it together. and you show it. And so then people have an idea about what that is, and the whole movie, they have an idea what the plot is, The introduction's the beginning of the movie, right? Sort of setting up what's going to come later in the actual movie. So I thought that was like a super, I don't know, easier way, at least for me, to think about the difference. Because this is a pretty common question. People think they're the same things, they're not. And the movie thing, I think, makes it clearer. The other thing, there's two introduction paragraphs, basically. And so people have asked what the difference is. The first one's sort of general, and it's actually, you're introducing what the theory is, and you're giving a summary of the theory, which you've already done, I think. So if you have that, work that into an introduction, and you're good. But yeah, like the thing, most people started the first essay off like that, like narrative in general, and it's important and persuades people, and here's this theory, and here's the theory. And so that's a whole paragraph, just because it's, summarize the theory. The next one is about what you're doing and what you're going to be talking about, right? Where you explain your narratives that you're working with, and you introduce the elements that you're going to be focusing on. You do that by, here's the research question that I was trying to do, and here are the different narratives I'm dealing with, and here are the narrative persuasive elements, and my thesis. So that's the difference. One's basically just a summary of the theory. That's probably the easiest way. Oh, another analogy that makes sense to me. So people are like, so what's the difference between the literature review, which was the thing we sort of did last, most recent thing, and the discussion part of this essay? Because I keep calling it like sort of the main essay part of this essay. A lot of stuff you're just assembling. But the discussion part of this sort of long essay, let me get to my analogy. Super great. And my other brother, Daryl. No, see, no. Oh yeah, we're okay. Literature review. So this whole process is, the analogy is that you are building and solving a puzzle. The literature review is dealing with the pieces of the puzzle and organizing them and thinking about how they go together and things like that. That's exactly what you're doing. Literature review is all about your sources, how they relate to each other, what they say, and that's it. So then the discussion one is actually like more of a regular research paper, where you are going to say, when I apply this theory to these narratives, here's what happened, and here's what it means. So putting the puzzle together would be the discussion part would be that. So literature review is just organizing stuff other people have done, made, wrote about. I think that's probably the one of the other ones. All right. Questions? All right. Anyway, so this is all at the bottom. This is on Friday notes. If I really moved it or not. So you can, like some of this, there's only a couple more. There's using the survey data in the research paper, where to put it. Also, just research. Where does the research go in this essay? So those are two things. Here's the other thing that will help everybody for questions I got. You want to download this now, I think, just to have it. So this is the template for this essay. And I tried to put it in various places. You want to download it and have, you probably would get rid of this page or whatever, as a Microsoft Word. And so what it has is, there's what the title page is, and you're putting your stuff into it. It has each of the sections and what they're supposed to be. There's the abstract, explains what an abstract's supposed to be. Title, here are your introductions that you're going to put there. the literature review, basically whatever you have for the literature review, you don't need to like shorten it or whatever. I know like it's less than what the literature review is supposed to, just whatever you have, you're gonna put in there, it doesn't matter. That's the end of that. Methods. I put methods and results together. Here's the main essay. This is the only one that's a little bit. I might have to fix that one. I mean, it's basically the same, but I recently tried to make it clearer again, but who knows? Oh, okay, and the other important thing, definitely we'll do that then. The application part is not extra credit. So it's not something everybody has to do, because it's sort of something we're not really focused much on. References and then the appendix stuff. You put a copy of the survey questions, you put a copy of the graphs that you will make from the data that you got. Like I said, we'll do that on Wednesday. I'm gonna fix this to reflect better. Actually, I could put on this one as well.